Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Erica.
And we're with Accuquilt.
And we want to show you our Go Hummingbird quilt today. We've got it hanging behind us.
Yeah, just gorgeous.
Absolutely, I love it.
We're gonna show you how to put one of these kite blocks together.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the Go Kite die.
Yes.
And this is one of our block on boards.
So we like to call them bobs.
Bob. So don't forget that. And with this die, you can layer your fabric or you can fan fold your fabric. So if you're going to fan fold, you always keep in mind you're going to cut those strips first. So just measure the width of your shape, add about 1/4 of an inch on either side, and then just cut right down the width of the fabric.
And that'll perfectly put your selvage at this so that it's heading into the rollers, which is how we always want you to cut.
Right. So you can also layer with this die. It is designed so that you can cut an entire block in one pass. So with that,
great.
It is great. So you need 4 layers of each of the colors. So that's how we're going to cut this here today. We're going to just layer these, and these are both on the lengthwise grain, and we cover that.
And this is a die, I mean, this is an 8-inch block, but this die would work with either the Go or the Go Baby. You could make this whole quilt with the Go Baby as well.
So it's a great, I think a beginner could do this.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to we're going to put one of these units together.
It's going to make you look really good. Okay. This is so fun to put together because of our dog ears. It's just going to match up perfectly. You can see the dog-eared corner. I'll pick it up so you can see it a little bit better. And the point's going to match perfectly on it so that you've got a great lineup. And we're ready to take this straight over then to the sewing machine. And I'm excited to put this together.
And it saves you time because you don't have that step of having to cut those dog ears off.
Right.
This is also, you mentioned, Erica, that this is an 8-inch finished block. So that means that this block is compatible with our 8-inch and 12-inch mix and match sets. So really, any die that finishes to 4 inches is a great one to pair up with this die.
Yes.
So you can get really creative with designing using this kite die.
And Lynn's got a pressing tip for us because I normally will press towards my darker fabric, but Lynn stopped me and told me she has a tip.
I was doing some sewing having some fun yesterday and sewing kite blocks, and I found that pressing your seams open was really more beneficial than pressing them to the side on this particular block. So I'm going to put that out there as a Lynn's tip.
Excellent.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and put the other side on because I really want to see how this looks when it's all put together. And again, we've got that dog ear, so I'm going to lay it out, take it straight to my sewing machine. And this die, with all of our others, do have a standard 1/4 inch seam allowance.
And so you can get lots of different looks. This is a very traditional block.
Yes.
But we've given it a modern spin just by our fabric selection. And it would make a great scrappy quilt as well because the pieces are perfect for a scrap quilt.
Well, and it would get a whole different look if you put it in, say, Civil War reproduction fabrics too.
Sure. And even if you rotate the 4-inch units in different ways, you get different looks.
Oh, so on point.
On point.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just lots of options here. Okay, there we go.
Lynn's got us all pressed up.
There you go.
And I would go ahead and do get all of my little block units here put together first. And then before we've got half of the block put together, we're going to put together the other half. And what I want to show you is, I know sometimes pinning is a bad word, but it's going to be really important here because we're going to be able to line up those seams just perfectly. And I think you can see that. I'm going to put a pin in there, and I'm going to do that for 2 reasons. The first is that I want those points to line up perfectly. The second is that when I get to my sewing machine, I want to be sure I'm sewing the right part together and I'm not sewing the... So I do that as a little tip for myself. I like to sew, pin, kind of assembly line with things. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this again with that 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we can see how that is. I got threads everywhere.
And being able to cut, I think, an entire block at one time will save a lot of time as well.
It really will. And again, we're going to press that seam open back to Lynn's pressing tip. So then when you go ahead and you're ready to put these final blocks together, again, I'm going to recommend that you pin again. And I'm going to say, this time we're going to recommend 3 pins. But I'll start with that center seam and put a pin in there. And your point should line up perfectly for you to go ahead and get those pinned as well. Just keeps me on the straight and narrow. Once you get going with the project, you'll probably be able to bring those straight over to the sewing machine, sew them together with maybe 1 pin in the center.
All right, some great tips, because I think the pinning really makes a difference in a lot of these
It does,
blocks.
and it's going to help you get that exact corner that's going to make us look so good when people look at our finished quilt.
That's right. So you can download this pattern at Accuquilt.com, and you can also get it out of the package of the Go Kite die.
Be sure when you're on Accuquilt.com to check out our blog for more tips and ideas. You can sign up to get an email notification every time a new blog posting goes up. You can also find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram.
That's right. Every quilter knows that
Better cuts
make better quilts.